Isn't it? Yeah. But what knowledge we discuss here is beyond the comprehension level of human mind. Hindi mein bole, English chalega? English is okay with all of you? Normally we speak in English. Yeah. So very interestingly, we discuss that knowledge which is transcendental knowledge. Transcendental means, say, Haribol, what's your name? You have to keep your son quiet. You should not disturb. Yeah. Ask him to come and sit in the front. Hare Krishna. So, transcendental knowledge means that knowledge which is beyond the capacity of our senses, mind, and intellect. Normally, how we gain knowledge? Through the senses, through the intellect and mind. So, normally what knowledge we gain, it is called the inductive knowledge. You know what is inductive knowledge? Or it is called in the Vedic term, it is called the Arohan Pati. Arohan. Arohan means it goes from below to top. Like we have, nursery. Yeah. Just ask him to be seated. Then we have primary. Okay. Then we have secondary. So we go from bottom to top. So that is called the Arohan or the inductive method. But this knowledge is not inductive. By our own intelligence or by our own capacity or capability, we cannot receive this knowledge. So this knowledge is called the Avarohan. One is Arohan and the other is Avarohan. So Avarohan means it is descending. It is coming down from top. Is it? I'll give you one simple example. Like someone who is, in the mid of the ocean. He is drowning. By his own ability, by his own means, is it possible for him to reach the shore? However good swimmer he may be, even if he is the world champion. So how he can be helped? How he can be helped? How he can be rescued? If someone else comes and holds his hand. Isn't it? So without the help of someone else, can he be rescued? No. So this deductive knowledge, it is coming down. It is the descending process. It is called Avarohan. So all knowledge that we gain in this material world, which process is that? Arohan. The inductive. It has two branches mainly. One, it is called the Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means by our direct perception. And second is called the Anuman or the hypothesis. In your scientific knowledge, how do you gain knowledge? Is by hypothesis. It is called Anuman. But this knowledge that we are discussing is Shabda. This transcendental. It is coming down from the Supreme Lord and through the sages and the saintly persons. So this is transcendental knowledge. So to receive transcendental knowledge, what we have to come? We have to come to the transcendental platform. But are we at the transcendental platform? No. So how to come to the transcendental platform is by the invocation. Invocation आप समझते हैं? Prayers. Prayers. Why? Because through the Shabda, through our invocation, we connect with the Supreme Lord. And the blessings of the Supreme Lord come down. It is descending. Again, it is descending. It comes down. And it empowers us. It enables us and enlightens us to receive this knowledge. We discussed Bhagavad Gita here. It is most popular book in the world after Bible. Most distributed book in the world. But the irony, it is the least, understood book. Why? Because the proper approach is not there. So first I am speaking to you about the approach. how to approach this knowledge. Not the way we approach the textbooks or the academic books. Because it is beyond our reasoning and logic. Okay. So if you have Bhagavad Gita's with you, you have been given Bhagavad Gita's. I will try to speak very basic today. Why? Because this is your first class, so that you can connect. And once you start connecting, then we can discuss in depth. So please open page 1, which says the Mangalacharan prayers of the introduction. You can open and give it to them. Open page 1 of this book. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishnam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So here in this forum of spiritual scientists, you are all aspiring to be agriculture scientists. But beyond the realm of agriculture and beyond the realm of all occupations is the realm of one's own spiritual existence, the spiritual platform. So in this forum, we are trying to equip you with spiritual knowledge so that you can become spiritual scientists. So in the material world, however one may be situated in knowledge, but his knowledge is very limited, very restricted. Hare Krishna. Please come, Dinesh. Please welcome Professor Dinesh Sharma ji. He is our teacher at IARI. But he becomes a student in Bhagavad Gita class. So that is very inspiring. And he brings his own copy of Bhagavad Gita. That is even more inspiring. So this knowledge is the eternal education. Knowledge people acquire for a certain age or certain period of time. But this knowledge is eternal education. And this knowledge is being imparted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And very distinguished feature of this knowledge is that this knowledge never changes. Or there is no addition, nothing which is added in this knowledge. Why? Because this knowledge is perfect knowledge. What was applicable 5,000 years ago when Lord Krishna spoke this knowledge to Arjuna, the same is applicable today, and the same will be applicable henceforth in life's millenniums and the generations to come. So this is only one book which has sustained the test of time, that there has been no change. All the 700 verses which are spoken by Krishna and Arjuna and Sanjay and even one by Dhritarashtra, it remains the same. There is no change. Why? Because anything which is out the spiritual platform is eternal. What it means to be eternal? That there is no change. And material means where there is constant change. And what it means, constant change? It is imperfect. So any and every knowledge that we will acquire in this world, it will remain incomplete. But if we receive this spiritual knowledge, so that incompleteness that we have in human existence can be removed, and we will come to the perfection of life. So that is why we have programmed this as spiritual scientist. So we have to uplift. Human life is meant for coming for spiritual realization. Human life is not meant for what is done in other species of life. In other species of life, if you see any species of life, there are 4 things which are very common. Are you aware? Like eating. Every living entity has to eat to survive, to sustain. And sleeping. Every species of life takes rest. And there is mating. Reproduces by the union of male and female. And 4th, everyone wants to defend. If you try to kill anyone, what is the natural reaction? Try to save. So these 4 activities are common. So Shastra says that dharmo hitesho adhiko vishesho, dharma vihina pashu bhi samana, ahar nidra bhay maithunadi. So if you have come to the human platform, if you want to really come to the human platform, you should go beyond these 4 basic things. And if you intelligently analyze, everyone in this world is engaged in these 4 basic things. Maybe in a more refined, in a more sophisticated, or a more polished way. But the basis of all activities in this material world is these 4 things. So what warrants in this human form of life is to make an inquire as to who we are and what is the purpose of life. If someone in his heart, this consciousness has emerged, अगर ये प्रश्न उसके हृदय में आ रहे हैं, तो he is fit to be called human. Otherwise, he is only in the form of human, but the consciousness is still not human. So Bhagavad Gita, it uplifts us to come to the human platform. How? By making us first realize that we are not these temporary bodies. Our entire focus in life is to somehow first to preserve and to beautify this body. But is there anyone in this world who has been able to preserve his body? So one way of receiving knowledge is that man is mortal, isn't it? Man is mortal. Just hear, please hear. Please don't allow your attention to be diverted. In this age, it is extremely difficult to have attention. Why? Because the mind is always restless. It is very flickering. If there is someone somewhere who makes any, sign or change or sound, immediately our mind rushes there. So, human life is meant to come to this realization that man is not mortal. What is mortal? Body is mortal. But the problem with all of us in this existence of DNA age, is that we are considering ourselves to be the body. And we consider ourselves mortal. That is like being in the subconsciousness of human life. Because man is immortal. Bhagavad Gita gives us this platform, this realization, that we are not mortal. We can use this mortal body to become immortal. Has anyone shared with you this is the goal of human life? Have you ever heard? It is such a sad situation that this country, which is the country of this knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, this knowledge has been covered. And our attempt is to uncover this knowledge and bring it to the youths. Because unless and until the youths take up this knowledge, they will not be enlightened and they cannot change the world. Some of you came to ISKCON temple that day. How many of you came to the ISKCON temple? Some of you came. So what did you see there? What was your experience? You saw such vibrations, such energy flowing. And where was the energy coming from? Youths. In our temples, you will not find old people. You will find very young and new people. So this question was asked to our founder Acharya, who was very advanced in age. He was 70 years. But all his students were young, even much younger than you, 15, 16, 17 or 20. So they asked Swamiji, why do we see in your society that there are so many youngsters who are attractive? So Prabhupada replied that when you go to universities, do you see young people or do you see old people? Young people, huh? You see some not so young people also like Sharmaji. But they are our respected teachers. Because from their experience and knowledge, we gain. So, but because this society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is a society for imparting spiritual knowledge. And knowledge can be imparted to those who are in the mood and attitude of learning. So it is known. We are already late. Actually, this knowledge begins at the age of 5. Komar acharit pragya dharma bhagavatam nihan. It should be commencing by the age of 5, like these kids have come. I think they would be even more than 5. What is their age? 7. But they, okay, so at 5 is the right age. So in this chapter, Kṛṣna is giving this transcendental knowledge. We have discussed, so we will move in the sequence because there are some viewers who have been continuously hearing. And I'll give you a brief of this chapter because we will be on the 11th verse today. So I'll give you a overview of what we have discussed in the first 10 verses. How many of you, by any chance, have read Bhagavad Gita so far? Any fortunate soul? You have read? Okay. 5 to 6 pages is not even 1%. This book contains how many? 700 pages, even more. 763. Okay, never mind. Even a percentage can become 2, 2 can become 4, 4 can become 10, and so on. The start has to be made. So in this chapter, see, I'll give you the Bhagavad Gita is divided into 18 chapters. For those who have been hearing consistently, this is a review for all of you. So be patient. I have some new friends here, some new students. I'm online also. So they are hearing online. So Bhagavad Gita is actually presented by Vyasadeva, the author, in 18 chapters. Although it is a free-flowing conversation. It is the conversation between two young friends. Who are the friends? Arjuna and Kṛṣna. And when this conversation took place, right on the battlefield, when the war was about to begin, even the conchs were blown. And Arjuna was about to shoot the arrow, and before he shot the arrow, he became overwhelmed with grief because he saw on the other side his relatives, his loved one. So he was in a dilemma and he wanted to retract. So he had many misconceptions and misapprehensions, which Krishna clarified. So there was a free-flowing exchange, but Vyasadeva has classified this exchange as Bhagavad Gita. Gita, Geet. Geet means song. And this song is presented by whom? Bhagavan. It is Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And just see how popular is this song. We also sing. We also try to compose something. If some of you are poets, anyone who is poetic? But see this popularity of this song, that after 5,000 years, this song continues. Can you give any parallel of any song which was 1,000 years back? Not even one. This is the most admired song. Why? Because this is sung by the Supreme Lord. And how many, subscribers are there to this song? Millions and millions. There is no count. Yeah. So this is the #1 song of the entire universe. There is no song which can compare to the song of Bhagavad Gita. And actually, what is song? I've so many times shared with my student. Song means the expression of one's inside feelings. Isn't it? When you feel joy, what do? You sing. And when you are overjoyed, what do? You dance. You dance. Yeah. So this is the joy of Krishna's heart, which was expressed through this Bhagavad Gita. Now, what is the joy Krishna wants to give? To come to his level of existence. What is the existence? Spiritual existence, eternal existence. So Krishna gave this eternal education, eternal knowledge. So for us in this human form of life, it is our duty. Because Krishna has made such elaborate education system of giving this eternal knowledge. So we should find that university where this knowledge is available. And Krishna in this chapter is mentioning the name of that university. What is the name of that university? Parampara system. Evam parampara praptam. So Krishna is giving the lineage of when he first gave this knowledge. If someone gives you something very new, which is not known or which is not tried and tested, so how keen are we to receive it? Will we receive it? Any university which has opened first time, will you go and take admission there? No. Why? Because we do not know what is the credibility, whether it is authentic or not, whether it is bona fide or not. So before speaking this knowledge, Krishna gave Arjuna the referral or the references. And what reference he said? He said, before speaking to you, Arjuna, I have already given this knowledge to Vivaswan, to the sun god. And for many millions of years, this knowledge was coming down in the reciprocal succession of kings, saintly kings. Imam Raj Rishio Vido. So this knowledge is not ordinary knowledge, as I said. This knowledge is descending knowledge, Avaroha knowledge. Why the mind has to go to the child? It shows how distracted we are. The child is restless. He is at 7 and our mind is also even below that 7. Try to hear. Try to hear, otherwise we will miss. The problem with us is why we are struggling. What is the struggle in this material existence? Because of our uncontrolled mind. And Krishna gave the first mind control seminar in the form of Bhagavad Gita. The only way to control mind is to submit to Krishna. You try any seminar. People charge a lot of fees and they give many seminars. The art of mind control or the science of mind control. No, there is no way you can control the mind. Can you control the mind? Has anyone succeeded in controlling the mind? Any reference? Any experiment? No. Why? Because mind is Krishna's energy. It is material energy. Like somebody is trying to control the police. Can someone control the police? No. But if you know the home minister, or if you know the prime minister, can you make the police controlled or not for you? Easily. You got the point? So on our own, we cannot control. But how to control? Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita. That will come in the 6th chapter. Very interesting. How to control the mind. That is called Dhyana Yoga. Dhyan is of what? The mind. Focus. So Krishna has spoken this knowledge many, many millions of years back. But this knowledge was lost. Why it was lost? Because there was no one qualified to receive it. So again, Krishna spoke this knowledge and making Arjuna the recipient or receiver of this knowledge. Why? Because Arjuna and Krishna were having very, very formidable relationship. So this knowledge cannot be received by anyone and everyone. Unless and until one comes in the university. Like if somebody wants to be, you have all joined IARI. Why only IARI? Why not your local institute in your village or town? Why? What is the reason? Because there is credibility. It is bona fide. It is bona fide by whom? By the Ministry of Agriculture. Is it not? Yeah. So similarly, this knowledge can be received by those who are coming in Parampara system. So that is the university. Which university? Parampara University. And ISKCON is one of the branch. We don't claim that we are the only branch. No. But ISKCON is one of the prominent branch. Why? Because all other branches are not so active as of now. And Krishna says that this knowledge, in the 3rd and the 4th verse, Krishna says that I am giving it to you, Arjuna, because you have eternal relationship with me. So eternal education can be received only in eternal relationship. Right now, our relationship is all temporary. Why? The relationship is based on what? Body. Body is temporary. It takes a birth. Happy birthday to you. But with the birth is also decided the date of death. So everything, every relationship in this world is what? Temporary. It did not exist before our body taking birth, and it will not continue when the body is finished. It is all temporary. So Krishna is saying that I am giving you this knowledge, which is very confidential. There is no knowledge which is as confidential as Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Rahasyami etad uttamam. So I'll give you this most confidential knowledge. What is the confidential knowledge? Of our eternal relationship, which is never lost. So if you develop relationship with Krishna, if you develop some loving feelings for Krishna, that relationship is eternal relationship. And you will never ever face any dhokha. In material relationship, there is always a fear or apprehension that you may be ditched. Isn't it? Today, people don't believe. There is no trust in relationship. That is why what kind of relationship they have? Live in and leave out. Like animals. Do animals, do they have any institution of marriage? No. So the modern civilization is advancing toward animalistic life. Why? Because this education is not there. This eternal relationship is not there. But Arjuna, after hearing this, he makes a very intelligent inquiry. Arjuna is not having blind faith. Arjuna does not accept. He says, my dear Krishna, you are standing in front of me. Me and you are contemporary. So how am I to accept this or understand this, that you spoke this knowledge millions of years back to Sun God? So this question gives this understanding that we should also be like Arjuna. Arjuna is showing that he is not having blind defiance. You understand blind defiance? Immediately reject. What is beyond our understanding, what we do, our mind immediately rejects, shuts off. And also, we should not be following the path of blind acceptance. So Arjuna is taking the mature path. He is giving Krishna a chance to explain, to speak. That you are saying, sir, that you spoke this knowledge millions of years back to the sun god. So how am I to understand this? Katham etam vijaniyam. And Krishna then gets the opportunity and he speaks. And he says that, my dear Arjuna, many, many births both you and me have taken. Then again, there is a chance to understand that Krishna and the Jiva are alike. But he says, no, they are not alike. So Krishna first speaks in this chapter. The first 3 verses, Krishna speaks about this lineage of knowledge. Krishna tells about the university from where we can receive this knowledge. So this is our life lesson. We should find that university and we should enroll ourselves so that we can also receive this knowledge. And then Krishna speaks about his distinguished position, his nature. What is Krishna's nature? He says that I can remember everything of my past, but you cannot, Arjuna. Same with us. Do we remember of our past lives? No. Do we know of our future life? No. Why Krishna? And then Krishna explains how it is different. How the Supreme Person is different from the normal living being. So Krishna speaks that I come in my eternal body. There is no difference between me and my body. Whereas for all of us, there is a difference between ourself and our body. That is why we call it my body. We don't say I body, isn't it? So there is the difference. So that difference does not exist. So in this way, Krishna explains this knowledge about himself. That how he is transcendental, how he is completely spiritual. And as I said, anything which is spiritual, it does not go any change. And he incarnates in many, many forms. And his incarnation is called avatar. And why he comes, why he appears in this world? Twofold reasons. Very famous verses of Bhagavad Gita, you would all be knowing. Which is the verse? Whenever there is decline in religious principles. So in Kali Yuga, what is the situation? How much is the decline in religious principle? Every moment. Every moment. Actually, there is no religious principle. People have become completely out of tune of there is something called religion. They have become completely irreligious. But to come to establish dharma, Krishna says there is also one principal reason why I come. And what is that? Paritranaya sadhuna. I come to deliver my devotees. So that is the foremost reason for the Supreme Lord coming. Why? Because he has eternal relationship. That relationship is never lost or never, forgotten. So he comes for the first purpose of rescuing his devotees. Paritranaya sadhuna. And what is the secondary feature? Vinashaya cha dushkrita. Then he says dharma sansthapanarthaya. Because dharma is sthapita, the establishment of the dharma is done by his devotees. Sambhavami yuge. And Krishna then, so for his devotees, he comes to deliver them. That is the purpose of coming of the Supreme Lord. So if we are devotees and such devotees, we have such relationship with the Supreme Lord. Don't worry. Don't allow your mind to remain childish. At least allow him to mature now. At least in this session. Yeah. So Krishna comes to deliver his devotees. And also Krishna comes to annihilate the demons. But what kind of demon does he annihilate? Big demons. Demons like Kamsa. Or demons like Ravana or Hiranyakashipu. So are we in either of the categories? Are we such sadhus that Krishna will come to deliver us personally? Like he came to deliver Prahlad. Isn't it? Like he came to give Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. We are not in that category. Neither we are in the category of sadhu, nor we are in the category of dushkrita. So then Krishna says, still I can deliver all of you. How? When you know me, that my appearance and my activities are transcendental. This is the 9th verse we discussed last time. Janma karma cha me divyam. So this knowledge is even higher than the knowledge of the soul. In the 2nd chapter, Krishna gave knowledge about the body and soul. That body is temporary and soul is eternal. So this knowledge is called Brahma Vidya. This knowledge is not. Have you heard in any institution where they give this knowledge? No. You go to IIT, you go to MIT, you go anywhere. Our founder Acharya, so many times I have shared, he went to MIT. You know MIT? Everyone knows MIT. Yeah, because many students aspire to be an MITian. That is said to be the name in education. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It is in Boston, I think. It is in Boston. We all know. Whether you study or not, we know. Why? Because we have heard about it. Have you been there? No. But you have heard about it. So just by hearing, there is aspiration and attraction both. So now Krishna gives knowledge about himself and knowledge about his relationship. This knowledge is far superior than the knowledge of the difference between the body and the soul. And by receiving this knowledge, what happens is that one can revive one relationship with Krishna. That is what Krishna is speaking here. So how attraction for Krishna will come? When we hear about it. So Krishna is saying, Janma karma cha me divyam. So how one can come to the understanding that both are transcendental? When one has sufficiently heard about it. So there are so many Vedic literatures. We have Bhagavad Gita, which gives only the sutras. Sutras, you understand? The aphorism. But the explanation of these sutras is in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is an elaboration. Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses. Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. It is a study of lifetime. Every day, if you study one verse, 18,000 days is how many years? Divided by 365. More than 40 years. More than 40 years. 40, 50 years of study. So, and there are so many other. There are 10 to the power 10. You know how much is 10 to the power 10? 10 billion. 10 billion verses in glorification of Krishna. How much can we access? Or how much can we study? But all of it is not available now. It has become extinct. It's becoming extinct. As Kali Yuga will progress, it will become less and less and less. Because this is the age of degradation. So anyway, so Krishna speaks about it. And then Krishna again, he reconfirms to Arjuna. Why? Because Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita at the fag end of the last millennium, which is Dwapara Yuga. So when Dwapara is ending, which Yuga will commence? Kali Yuga. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken for which Yuga? Kali Yuga. For us. So in Kali Yuga, there is two distinguished features of everyone. What is it? That there is always an element of doubt. Isn't it? There is always an element of doubt. And there is always an element of disagreement, which is called kalha. Disagreement. There is doubt also, and there is disagreement also. So Krishna again and again through Arjuna is assuring us. So I am coming to the last verse, which I took last time. So Krishna in the last verse says that Arjuna, if you receive this knowledge which I am giving you, you will become freed. Freed of three things in material existence, which no one is free. What is that? Vitaraga bhaya krodha. You will be freed from attachments. Raga. Is there anyone who is free from all attachments? We have so many attachments. We have our heart, which is filled with attachments. And what does attachment bring? Fear. Because we are always fearful of losing our most possessed attachment. So that is existence. Material existence means attachment, and material attachment means fear. Can anyone say in his heart he is free of fear? There is no fear. Every moment there is. Fear means negativity. Everyone in this world now is facing this great epidemic called negativity. And is there any vaccination for that? COVID, we got vaccination. But can you find any vaccination for negativity? No. It breeds in our inside, in our heart. So many fears. And also there is anger. So Krishna says that, my dear Arjuna, if you receive this knowledge, Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Puta, if you are purified by this knowledge, what is the result of this knowledge? That you are freed from attachment. If you are freed from attachment, then you are detached. Detached person, what is their fear for losing? Fear is only there in the heart who feels that he possesses something. And he might not lose it. Like if you have a bike, if you have purchased a new bike and you have come here for the first time, where will be your heart? Where will be your mind? In the bike. If it is getting late, what will be the mind thinking? Some person may not take away my bike. Have I locked my bike or not? Is the keys with me or not? So this is attachment. One of the main reasons of our distraction is our attachments. We cannot focus. So Krishna is giving this benediction. He is giving this blessing. So if you become a student of Bhagavad Gita, 3 aspects from your life will be completely transformed. You will be free from material attachment. See, soul cannot be free from attachment. It is the nature of the soul to be attached. But we will be free from falsity, from illusion. And we will be situated in having the right attachment. Attachment with Krishna, or attachment to eternal knowledge. Eternal attachment to perform devotional service. So because we do not have spiritual attachment, what we have? Material attachment. Like a child is there. He has to play. If you take away his pen and paper with his playing, he will create havoc here. Isn't it? But if you give him a better drawing book, a drawing book which is having Krishna and Balram and the forest of Vrindavan, he'll be more absorbed. Isn't it? So because we do not have spiritual attachment, in absence of spiritual attachment, what do we have? Material attachment. And material attachment, material existence means fear. Every moment there is fear. And as the consciousness is covered, many times given the example, have you seen a bird drinking water or picking a grain in her back? Before it picks another grain, it 10 times moves its neck. Why? Because there is always fear that some other stronger animal may come and kill her. Isn't it? So this fear means wrong identification. Fear is only of material existence, and material existence means body. Spiritual level, there is no fear. Freedom from fear. And anger is also why? Because due to attachment, we have so many desires. And when our desires are unfulfilled, what do we get? Rage, anger. So Krishna is saying that this knowledge can free you from attachments, fear, and anger. And not only it can do that, that is the negative part. But what is the positive part? He says that Puta mad bhavam agata. You can come to my spiritual nature. Or Prabhupada says that you can develop love for me. They all attain transcendental love. So this is the advantage of this knowledge which Krishna is giving. How many of us really want to have this knowledge? How many? None of you? So, but to do that, Krishna gives the principle. To whom he gives what? And in this section, this is the second section which I'll take. So the first section, Krishna spoke from first verse till 10th verse. How many of you do not have a copy of Bhagavad Gita? Personal copy of Bhagavad Gita? Please raise your hand. So my request is, Please take one today from Dola Manipur. You please pay the price, whatever is the price. How many of you do not have a mobile phone? Please raise your hand. Is there anyone? Maybe the kids do not have. We have mobile. But this is the real mobile to connect with the Supreme Lord. Is Bhagavad Gita. So you must have this mobile with you. And you can dial his number. And he will directly speak to you in the words of Bhagavad Gita. So this is his direct connection. So Krishna, in the first 10 verses, is talking about the parampara system, the lineage, is giving the university. And in university, what is the curriculum? What is the curriculum? It is all about Krishna and his pastime and his devotees. What do you say? Syllabus. That is the syllabus. And in the next section, Krishna speaks that all paths are created by me. Actually, all the paths, goal come to me. In Bhagavad Gita, he has created 3 goals or 3 paths. What are the paths? Karma, jnana, and bhakti. So please don't, extrapolate anything and everything. It is not that all paths. It is like saying, if you go to the airport, you sit in any plane. Will you reach your destination? No. You have to check which flight is going to which destination. So now Krishna is speaking the 11th verse. Very, very important verse. And Krishna is giving the principle. So most of you are new. So please just hear. Just hear. I'll give you one example. There was once an incident. There was one young man. And he had very severe loose motion. And his motions were so severe that whatever medicine he took, the body ejected him. And he was very frustrated. So after so many allopathic treatment, he finally went to an Ayurvedic doctor. Ayurved it is called. And he said that you must, drink some ghee. He said, what are you saying? If I drink ghee, I will not be able to come out of the toilet at all. He said, if you trust me, please do it. Take a proper cow ghee and drink it. And he drank the ghee, little bit of ghee. And what happened? Immediately it was ejected. But some part of ghee remained in his intestine. Next, he again took some more part remained in his intestine. And that became the laxative to digest what he was eating. You get my point? So because you have come here, and if you hear, definitely there is going to be benefit. Okay? So I will recite the verse. I will at least try to take 1 or 2 verses today, so that continuity happens. This 11th verse. So this is the new section where Krishna is talking about how he reciprocates with different people. So this is the misconception which Krishna removes, that not all paths, like not all university, give you the same expertise. Can it give? No, it is foolishness. So many people think कि किसी को भी worship कर लो, do as you like, but you will reach the same destination. No, Krishna refutes that. So Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam statheva bhajami aham mam vartmanu vartante manushya parth sarvasha. So Krishna is saying, Ye yatha. Ye means to all those. And ma means unto me. And prapadyante means to surrender or to submit or to approach or to worship. So Krishna says, as people come to me with their desire and mood and submission, with whatever their mood, desire and submission, they come to me. Tam satheva bhajamyam. I reciprocate or reward with them accordingly. You get the point? Bhajami means to worship. Bhajan. Actually, bhajan word can only be used where there is selfless service. So, but here Krishna is saying that as people come and approach me with whatever is their mood, and whatever is their attitude, or whatever is their desire, accordingly, I reciprocate or reward with it. So not every person will get the same result. It will depend on how he is approaching, what mood he is, what desire he is coming with, what is the inner position of his heart. So Kṛṣṇa reciprocates according to one's heart, not head, not just head. That is why he is called Bhavgrahi Janardana. He accepts our bhava, our feelings. And this is the first principle which he gives. Like everyone in the class, do they have the same numbers? Is it possible? No, it is never possible. So all paths do not reach to the same goal or destination. They can never reach. So Kṛṣṇa is removing this misconception through this verse. And the second important principle which he is establishing is Mam Vartamanu Vartante Manushya Partha Sarvata. He is saying, everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Partha. So what are the paths which are given by Kṛṣṇa? Is karma, jnana, and bhakti. Even yoga, the Sankhya yoga. So all the paths are given by Kṛṣṇa. But different paths can lead to different results. And Kṛṣṇa reciprocates according to the path with which one is approaching him. The result is not the same. So one principle which comes out, that the path is created by whom? By Kṛṣṇa. So Kṛṣṇa is the undisputed leader, because he is creating it. If you see the third chapter also, Kṛṣṇa spoke about it. I think it is 3 points. 29th verse. Okay. 23. So Kṛṣṇa is saying in the third chapter that Mam Vartmanu Vartante Manushya Partha Sarvata. Exactly the same verse. You see? 3.23. The same language. Yeah. But here Kṛṣṇa is speaking that all men would follow my path. So the path which is prescribed by Kṛṣṇa, everyone has to follow, either willingly or non-willingly, either knowingly or unknowingly. So Kṛṣṇa is the undisputed leader. And whatever path he is prescribing, so if we are intelligent, we will lovingly and willingly follow it to receive the full benefit. Why? Because Kṛṣṇa is, he will respond according to our mood, our approach, our desires. If our approach and desire is not positive, it is negative, then that effect will not come. So the translation says, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. O son of Partha. Arjuna's name here is Partha. And Manushya, Sarvasha. So there is no exception. Whatever is the path given by the Supreme Lord, everyone has to follow, whether willingly or unwillingly, whether voluntarily or by force. What is the law one has to follow? All the laws of nature one has to follow. What is the law? After birth, he grows. And after growth, can you say that I don't want to leave this age span of youth? I want to have my youthful body forever. Can you do that? No, you cannot. It will turn into old age. Mataji is there. Old age. Don't think it will not come to you. Your childhood body is there. It's gone. So this body will also leave you. So whatever path Kṛṣṇa has given, everyone is forced to follow. But intelligent are those who know and willingly and lovingly follow, and who worship him in knowledge. So Kṛṣṇa is giving this knowledge. So Prabhupada says in the purport, everyone is searching for Kṛṣṇa in different aspects of his manifestations. a very powerful statement. Prabhupada says, everyone is searching for Krishna. Can anyone, respond to this statement? How everyone is searching for Krishna? You might think, I'm not searching for Krishna. How many of you really feel that you are not searching for Krishna? Please raise your hand. Are you really searching for Krishna? No, none of us are searching for Krishna. Is our search only focused on Krishna? No. So why Prabhupada is writing that everyone is searching for Krishna, but he said in different aspects of his manifestation. You just think, give it a thought. We're all intelligent, learned people. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. But we're not searching for him. But why Prabhupada is saying that everyone is searching for Krishna? Yes. Yes, very good. Yeah. Because in everyone, in every species of life, there is only one search. What is that search? For happiness, true happiness. Unlimited, unrestricted happiness. Yes or no? Is there anyone who is not searching for happiness? Everyone is searching for happiness. And Krishna is the essence and the source and the foundation and reservoirs of all happiness. He is Anandamaya Bhyasa. So whether directly or indirectly, everyone is indirectly searching for Krishna. That is why your song is called. Anyway, so everyone is searching for Krishna. Everyone is searching for happiness. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his personal. So there are two types of people in this world. 99% are materialist. They are on the material platform. But 1% are transcendentalist. Transcendentalist means those who are on the spiritual platform. Even it is less. 1% also is a very big number. In the Kali Yuga, it is much less than 1%. So first, Prabhupada is talking about those who are at the transcendental platform, who are searching for happiness. So there are 4 divisions or 3 divisions primarily. There are 3 divisions. Prabhupada talks about the 3 types of those who are approaching Krishna. So first, Prabhupada talks about that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence. So the first type of spiritual practitioner or the fundamental, the primitive ones, they are called the Jnanis. Jnanis, who study Vedas, isn't it? Not from the materialistic point of view, from the spiritualist point of view. Like if you have PhD you have many years, na? First year, second year. But PhD student cannot be compared to any ordinary. Can he be compared to a school student? No, he's much beyond. So the first level of spiritual realization is the spiritual effulgence. It is called the Brahmacharya. So these are new terms for you. Most of you will be hearing for the first time. So just hear it. And don't crack your head in trying to understand it. Because this is descending knowledge. As you attend, as you become regular, in due course of time, it will be revealed to you. When your practice is very sufficient, what is Brahma Jyoti, you can realize. So it's impersonal effulgence and is all-pervading super soul. And higher than that, the first level is effulgence, the spiritual effulgence. It is called the Brahma Jyoti. Normally, if you ask anyone, any Babaji or any sadhu, or someone who is renounced, who has left the world, you ask him, "Aap kya karne ke liye ja rahe hain?" So what is the answer? What is the goal of his life? What is the goal of such people? Speak. You have not met such people. Moksha. Moksha. And then you ask him, what is moksha? What is moksha? What is the understanding of God? लीन हो जाना, लीन हो जाना, लीन हो जाना. किसमें लीन हो जाना? भगवान में नहीं, ब्रह्म में लीन हो जाना. So this Brahma लीन is called Brahma Jyoti. This is the impersonal form of the Lord. It's not the personal form. What is the impersonal form of the Prime Minister? Government. Police. In police, can you see the Prime Minister? No. But does it mean that the police exists, the Prime Minister does not exist? No, the Prime Minister is there. But in his invisible form, there are so many ministries and departments which are working and functioning. One of the department is the education department, which is running this IARA, isn't it? But is it his personal form, personal feature? No. So you got an example? So this is the impersonal feature. This is the Brahma Jyoti. And the second level is called the yogis. First level is the Jnanis. Jnanis are those who, after study of Vedas, they come to this understanding and realization that they are not matter. They are not the body. They are spirit soul. That is first level of realization. First level of realization. That I am not this body, I am spirit soul. But higher than this realization is that the spirit soul is eternal. That is the second level of realization. First level of realization is I am beyond body. And then second is the spirit soul is eternal. Then beyond this level, this is the Jnani level. This is the first level. Is the level of the yogis. Yogis means those who concentrate, those who meditate. And what do they meditate? They make an inside journey, not outside journey. Like we are having Chandrayaan, outside journey. Or we may claim we have a Suryayaan. But all of it is illusion. What is more important is to get inside. Is there anyone who is revealing what is inside? No. Because hardly anyone is making that journey. So yogis are those who drive inward. And they are able to see themselves as soul. And not only they are able to see themselves as soul, that they are not this body, and the soul is eternal. They also know that the eternal soul has eternal relationship. With whom? With the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord is seated in the heart as Paramatma, as the super soul. So they do not only reach the soul, they go beyond. They reach the super soul. But Paramatma feature is all pervading. Isn't it? Paramatma is there in the heart of each and every living entity. And how is Paramatma? Are we able to communicate with him? Are we able to reciprocate with him? Are we able to even recognize his existence in our heart? No. Again, it is what? It is universal. Yeah. So this is the universality of this verse. There are two aspects, from many angles we can understand this verse. So the universality application also Krishna is given. That everyone has to follow his path. So the yogis, they go beyond the Jnanis and they realize the Paramatma feature. But again, the Paramatma feature is also, it is universal. It is universal. So let's proceed. I'll proceed as per the purport. So Prabhupada says, is the impersonal Brahmjyoti effulgence and as the all-pervading super soul dwelling within everything, including the particulars of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. And the most advanced form is the form of the devotees. Why? Because that feature is called the Bhagwan. So there are three different levels of realization. Vadanti tattas vidas tattvam yad jnanam avyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwaniti shabdate. So the first level is brahmeti. Second level is paramatmeti. And the third and the final and the highest level of perfection is bhagwaniti. Bhagwaniti is the personal form. Like the government is there, but the government is run by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is there. He's a person or he's in person? He's a person. You can have direct relation with him. Some people have. So, who has the best of the power who has the personal relation with the Prime Minister. Yes or no? Does he need to know the minister? No need. Does he need to know the bureaucrat? Does he need to know the clerk in the secretariat? No. If he knows the Prime Minister, his work will be done. Everyone else will fall in command and line. So that is the highest level of spiritual realization. So Prabhupada is speaking about that. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization. So this is one understanding, that everyone is following the path which is given by him of both the jnana, the karma, the dhyana, and also of Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have it. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude. So as I said, attitude or mood or desire. So as we approach him, so he reciprocates with us or rewards with us. If we are trying to be very smart, that is what people do. Business transaction. What they do, they will bring 11 rupees ka prasad, bhoga. They will offer to Krishna 11 rupees worth bhog prasad. And what they will desire and demand? 11 crore. Why 11 lakh? 11 crore. Or even much more. So he will treat you accordingly. Beware. He's already telling you. Don't think he is a bevkoof and you are smart. When we will come in the 10th chapter, he is saying, Dutam chaliyatam asmi. That amongst all the cheaters, I am the foremost cheater. So don't try to cheat with Krishna. In this world, Prabhupada said, this world is full of cheaters and being cheated. You understand? Everyone is thinking that he can outsmart the other. But what is the result? He is making a fool of himself. So this world is full of cheaters and cheated. In one relationship, we should be free from this defect of trying to cheat. In all other relationships, this element of cheating is there. Right or wrong? Every relationship, the element of cheating is there. We never speak the fact. We always try to create our image by presenting what we are not. Yes or not? But with Krishna, we have to become transparent, because Krishna is telling here that I reciprocate according to your approach, to your attitude, your mood. So Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. But for devotees, he reciprocates according to the rasas. Rasas means relationships. As the devotees desire, if somebody wants to have Krishna as his friend, Krishna reciprocates. Krishna becomes the friend of such a person. Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita. When we will come to the 5th chapter, he says, Suhidam Sarva Bhutana. I am the most well-wishing friend. Do you have a friend who is ever well-wishing? Till the time you agree with him, you can receive his wishes. You can test him. And at the time you disagree with him, what comes out? Wishes. Some other cacophonic words will come out. Yeah. But Krishna, he never changes his time, because he is our true friend. He is our spiritual friend. Spiritual means no change. Whether you love me or you hate me, I will continue to serve you. So Krishna is constantly serving his devotees. According to different intensities of love for him. So, yeah. So Krishna, just as a devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as the supreme master. This is called the Dasyaras. Dasyarati. Another as his personal friend, it is called Sakhyam, friendship. Another as his son. If you want Krishna to be the son, he will agree. People keep Laddu Gopal. Dekha? And mothers, जो उनकी सेवा करती हैं, they treat Krishna as their son. But can you do this with Ramji? Can you do this with Lord Vishnu? No, you cannot. Because there is Maryada. You cannot breach that Maryada. And still his lover. If you want to receive Krishna as your lover, Krishna will reciprocate. Krishna reciprocated with 16,108 queens. Krishna became husband of all of them. All the gopis, they wanted Krishna as their lover. Krishna became lover of all of them. They were actually pure devotees. In their heart, there was love for Krishna. And Krishna did not care for the world, what people will think and what they will say. Because for him, this is what he is saying. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. This is very powerful principle. If you develop devotion and love for Krishna under any condition, Krishna will reciprocate with you. How he will reciprocate, we may not be able to comprehend. But definitely there will be reciprocation with Krishna. So Krishna rewards all his devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocation of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss. So another aspect of understanding is coming to the three levels of transcendentalist. One is the Jnani. So Jnani, he has only first level of realization, that is of eternal existence. Chit, that he is eternal. He is beyond body. But the yogis, they go forward. They go beyond Sat. They also are situated in knowledge. Knowledge of the self and also knowledge of the super soul. That is the second feature. Like you have a 10 rupee note and you have a 50 rupee note. So 50 rupee note has more value than 10 rupee. 10 is already included in 50. But in 10, you cannot get the value of 50. But the devotees, they have the third feature also, which Prabhuji is explaining here. That Ananda, which the Jiva is seeking in all species of life, in all relationships, what is the search? Anand. Why do we get married? What is the purpose of getting married? To experience more happiness. Why do we get children? After marriage, why do we get children? To expand our horizon of happiness more. Otherwise, what is the need of having children? Why do we have children? So, this Ananda is only experienced with devotees. Why? Because they have personal relationship with Krishna. So all the search and all the quest remains unfulfilled unless and until one develops relation with Krishna. This is what Krishna is revealing. That Arjuna, you have your relationship with me as Bhakto si mein sakha chunti. And then what happened? Krishna killed all his so-called kinsmen, his relative. But was he in moroseness? No. He was in bliss. He is still being glorified now. Is Arjuna known as a killer or a murderer? No. Why? Because he was established in his eternal relationship. So that bliss, that Ananda, please try to understand. This knowledge or this realization or understanding is not there for even many, many years of practice. It cannot be experienced in any other relationship. In the relationship with Krishna is prime. If we have a relationship, but the relationship center is Krishna, then there will be rasa or ananda. Otherwise, that relationship itself will become a cause of our suffering, our unhappiness. That is what is happening. What is the divorce rates in India now? In Delhi? It is 10 times more than what it was 10 years back. And it will keep increasing. Why? Because everybody is trying to enjoy through the body. There cannot be any enjoyment through the body. Because enjoyment is to be experienced at the level of soul. And that awakening and connection at the level of soul is not there. Most of us will not be able to detect this fault in material existence. So Krishna is giving here, and Prabhupada is explaining The pure devotees both here and in the transcendental abode associate with him in person and are able to render personal service. And how this rasa can be extracted is through the means of service. And how service begins? By hearing. So you have begun. Your service to Krishna has begun. How? Being in this class and hearing about Krishna. Or hearing from Krishna. From whom we are hearing? From whom we are hearing Bhagavad Gita? From Krishna. From pure devotees of Krishna. Prabhupada is giving the purport. So service has begun. And as service begins and intensifies, we will experience that rasa, that ananda. Rasa is nothing else. Rasa is the relationship with Krishna. So everything in this material world is not filled with ras. It is niras. It is without ras. Because the rasa is in Krishna. He is called Rasraj. As for those who are impersonalist and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. So those who do not have this personal relationship or understanding or practice, Krishna even reciprocates with them. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they have extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desire for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planet, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planet. And for those who are footy workers, the Lord awards the desired result of the prescribed duties as Yagneshwara. And those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. So different folks have different rewards. So as you come with the desire, Krishna will appropriately respond. If you approach Krishna to get some material benefit, he will only award you that material benefit. He will not award the eternal relationship with himself. So as I keep saying, people come to Krishna asking from Krishna. They do not ask Krishna. If you are asking from Krishna, Krishna will give you everything except Krishna. Unless and until you ask Krishna, you will never receive Krishna. Ye yatha mam prapadyanti. So we have to change the track. Because anything and everything you ask, which platform it is? Material. It will have a beginning and it will terminate. The body itself will terminate. It is temporary. If you see in the spiritual existence, it is useless. So we are just, chasing and hankering after temporary things. Or whatever temporary assets or gadgets we may have. The person, my students gave me apple. But how does it make a difference? The screen and the people remain the same. Even if I have Rolex watch, the time remains the same. Does it change? Even if I have the best of the car, the distance and the destination remains the same. It is only foolishness. For temporary things, we are giving so much importance. So here, Krishna is saying that some of them who are not firmly situated, even in the impersonal existence, return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desire for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets. So admittance in the spiritual realm will only come when we ask for it. And then what we have to give up? We have to give up material attachments. They are never again given a chance, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruity workers, the Lord awards the desired result in the prescribed duties. Fruity workers means, you understand? Those who are working with the expectation of return or reward or enjoyment of the fruit. Everyone works. What is the motivation for work? Return or reward. So whatever is their desire, Krishna will fulfill. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect. Why? Why it is imperfect? Because with the body, all of it will be finished. Isn't it? In Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, 10th verse, Akamo sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So this verse is a very, very hope-giving verse. This verse says that even if you are filled with all desires, even whether one is without desire, that is akama. Kama means desire. So akama means one who is without desire. Or you are sarva kama. You are filled with material desire. Or even your desire is moksha kama. You have a desire for moksha. Or there is a kam for udara. There is a desire for fruitive result. One should, without efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. But whether one is filled with desire, one is without desire, one is with the desire for fruitive gains, one is desire for moksha, what he should do? He should worship the Supreme Lord. Why? Because the Supreme Lord will purify them. In the next verse, I will explain the next time because it is beyond 9. I am seeing my watch, it has crossed 9. Did we get the know of time? I did not. It just, flew by. Why? Because there is a danger of diversion. And what is that diversion? Krishna will explain in the next verse. So any question or clarification, if you have, please freely ask. Bhagavad Gita is a question answer session. Arjuna has put, how many questions? 84 verses. Most of it in the form of questions. So if there is any question, any doubt, any challenge, you can ask. Either here offline or online. Bhajan Sarva Prabhu always has a question. Good. Okay, I'll take your question later. First his hand was up. Okay. You have to speak a little louder because there are many, new students here today.
Yes, thank you. See, it is written that God is even present in the atoms.
Yes.
Do the atoms have soul? How God is present in that?
What is the composition of an atom? It has a nucleus, isn't it?
Yes, electron, proton.
Yeah. And what is the nucleus compared to?
I don't know.
Heart. And Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridasanni vishnu. So where is that? So what are the atoms, what are the neutrons and protons doing in the nucleus?
They are the composition.
And they are the composition. There is an energy, na? They are in there. Circulation. What is it? Who is a physics person here? Circulating, na? So where is that circulating? It is dead matter. So where is it circulating from?
I have no idea.
Where is that force coming from? Have you ever
Okay.
questioned? Have you ever questioned? Where is that force of circulation coming from?
Yeah, we never question.
The imperfect knowledge. Once one student here in IRI told me that, sir, you are saying that the super soul is present everywhere. So is it present in the tree also? Is it present in the tree also? Is it which part of the tree? Now you answer. Which part of the tree? Which part of the tree? Yeah, that is true. But which part of the tree is the heart? Roots. You water the roots and it reaches the entire tree. but it is invisible. The super soul is invisible. Everything spiritual is beyond access from matter. Okay. So we have to accept that this is what the deductive method is. This is what the Avarohan is. We should not doubt what Kṛṣna is speaking. Because our material intelligence is very, very limited. It will always fail. Okay. What's your name and what's your question? Yeah.
My name is
Nirmal. Yeah. I remember you coming. Huh? Yeah. And you did service also. I very much appreciate it. You did Prasad Seva. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Nirmal.
Sir, it's the daily life.
Huh?
Is the
1 minute. You can speak in the mic. You have to be prompt. Ask the question. Yeah.
is we say that
Sit. Even sit. Relax.
eliminate from the material achievement is the basic goal of the Bhagavad Gita. It's
No. Where did we say that the basic goal of the Bhagavad Gita is to achieve material achievement?
basic goal. It is also part of our life to get eliminated from the
Don't mix two things. Relax. Sit. Nirmal, sit. You speak about your goal. The goal of Bhagavad Gita is not our goal. The goal of Bhagavad Gita is to achieve immortality. I shared with you. Immortal life. But is that our goal? So far not. It can become. If we are enlightened, if we are empowered, it can become. So what is your question? You please put your question. Your goal. Yeah.
The material attachment or the emotional attachment were not presenting us. So there will be a rule of Bhagavad Gita, Illuminates, which we are studying today. Because you put the attachment, if I am going to conclude the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna.
Achha.
And if there is no attachment, the Arjuna to the following emotional relation is related. So what is
Very good. Okay. It is like saying, unless and until there is agyan, where is the possibility of gyan? Unless and until there is darkness, where is the possibility of light? In a way, what you were saying is not wrong. But why did Kṛṣna give this knowledge? To remove his ignorance. Attachment is the symptom of ignorance. But once he received this knowledge, was Arjuna in agyan? Was Arjuna attached? No. If he would have been attached, he would have returned back. He would have not fought. So his ignorance was removed. That is why he says, Nashta moha smriti labdva tat prasadat maya chud gata sandeha stito asmi karishye vachanam tava. You get my point? So, because Kṛṣna does not want us to go in the same way what Arjuna was. So he has already given us Bhagavad Gita. We don't have to become Arjuna to receive Bhagavad Gita. Can we pay the price of Arjuna? You know what Arjuna paid the price to receive Bhagavad Gita? He had to kill his grandfather. Will we be able to do that? But still we are receiving Bhagavad Gita. He killed so many of his relatives. Do we need to do that? So Kṛṣna is more kind to us than Arjuna. And still if we say that I want to be in Agyan first, then we will remain in Agyan. We have to remove our Agyan with the Gyan. Tesham evanukampartam aham agyanajam tama nashayami atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. Very beautiful. Kṛṣna is speaking that Tesham eva anukampartam, to show special mercy. To whom? To those who are in Agyan. I have given this knowledge as a shining lamp to remove darkness from their heart. So what Kṛṣna desires? That we should be situated in knowledge. So we should receive this knowledge and benefit from this knowledge. Okay? Thank you very much. So I'll conclude. It is 9:15. Thank you very much for coming. And my request to you is keep coming. Because this knowledge, this treasure that we can receive here is not to be found elsewhere. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all